I'm Danielle with TJOmega.org, here with Alexis Cruz.
Hi.
And, just jump right in.
Yeah.
You were in the Stargate movie.
Yeah.
And then you went on to the TV show. What was it like being one of the only people that got to do both?
It was great. It was a great honor, and it's been a great blessing over the years, to have something that's been so popular all over the world. And it's done a lot for me,
Definitely.
between meeting the cast, doing the great work that we were doing on the show, being able to travel all over the world, meet new people. It's been just an amazing ride.
That's amazing.
It really is like they said, it'll take you a million light years from home, and I think that's exactly what's happened.
What was it like for you playing Skara and then playing Chlorel, and sometimes at the same time?
It was really challenging and fun, and I didn't expect it at first. When it first happened, I landed in Vancouver to do the episode. I didn't have the script yet, so I'm reading the script on the ride from the airport to the hotel, and here's this Chlorel character, and as I'm reading, I'm going, oh my god! It just blew my mind, because I had always seen Skara as really the quintessential good guy, in its archetype, and then to turn him into a bad guy felt really weird. But it was, in hindsight, it was probably one of the best things that could have happened to Skara, because I think the great challenge, the challenge for a great good guy is to be put through all of those tests, to be challenged to that degree that he has a nemesis, and Chlorel was his nemesis, and I was really actually honored as an actor playing that character, honored that the producers would put a lot of faith in my ability to pull that off, and that they honored the character by really doing that for him,
And you did pull it off wonderfully.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Was it hard for you, the accent that Skara had? Where did you get the inspiration for that?
Well, let's see. The language that we spoke in the original film was actual ancient Egyptian.
Oh, wow.
We had an Egyptologist who consulted on the film for us, and we had to learn ancient Egyptian, like by the numbers, by the letters, as it were, by the hieroglyph. And we had to vocalize it, but nobody's spoken it in like 3,000 years.
So you get to go back to school.
Yeah, but we enjoyed it because myself and Eric Avari, Millie Avital, and James Spader, we were all very good with languages. We were, linguistically inclined, and all of us classically trained as actors. So for the Egyptologist, these guys were really working off of their academic context, where they're trying to translate these hieroglyphs into vocal sounds, but it had never really occurred to them to work with actors. It probably wouldn't occur to anybody. But we're trained in communication, down to its minutia, and it's a very serious thing for us. So in bringing it to life, putting it on its feet, once the body enters play, intonation changes, your breath changes the tone of things, it changes how people, context. And we understood all of that as actors in a way that I think was beyond the academic scope of the Egyptologist. So when we put all our work together, this really beautiful and amazing thing happened that was able to complete his work and give the film that level of authenticity. And then I just sort of kept it as we went on through the series. Yeah. And the accent was fairly easy because I've I had known the language well enough, and I had known enough Egyptians in my life, and so I sort of picked it up and went from there.
And then you bring in Chlorel's voice.
Yeah.
Which is much darker.
Well, and Chlorel has a more cleaner, neutral speech.
Yes.
Having learned English as they learn it, just taking over people. So it's sort of an instant knowledge, and there's a neutrality to it. So it was perfect English, whereas I kept the accent for Skara. Did you notice nobody else kept their accents though? Like everybody on the show, 3 weeks into it, they'd all be speaking perfect English.
Yeah, and it helps when you go back and you watch it. Almost you marathon it, and it's so easy to see it because you're seeing the episode after episode after episode, and you see the progression. Yeah,
but I wasn't there every episode, having been recurring, not a series regular.
I know.
So I never really. It didn't become everyday old hat to me. Every time I went back, it was a fresh experience. So I was eager about it, and eager to maintain all of that consistency that I had made for my character. It never got like, oh, okay, I'm tired of doing this accent, let's just switch to regular English. I just never got to that.
You were in LA Noir.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy voice acting?
I did. I loved it. LA Noire was really interesting too because I didn't know I was going to be in LA Noire. When I got the job, it everything was under a different name. I think it was called like Police Confidential or something like that, LA Confidential type thing. I didn't know it was for Rockstar Games. Didn't know anything about it. Just that it was a period piece, and I had my character, and they were using this new facial recognition technology that nobody had ever done before, that they built just for this game.
And that was my next question.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a big deal because like nobody puts that much money into this technology unless it's going to be a big deal, you know? But it was interesting as an actor because I was sat in a chair in a white room with like 1,000 little cameras. So it wasn't like mocap where I had little balls on me. Just 1,000 little cameras. And I had to act from the neck up. And only from the neck up. I couldn't move my shoulders, I couldn't lean forward, I couldn't do anything. It all had to be all right here, which I'm a very physical actor.
Yes.
So that was probably one of the biggest challenges that I ever had, was doing that. But it was worth it because the game came out phenomenal.
Did you play the game?
Yeah, absolutely.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
I'm not a gamer, but I saw a preview of it and I was just blown away.
It was amazing that the guys there, while we were shooting my stuff, they were showing me some of the footage from some of the people before and the monologues that they had, and I was just blown away because it was like watching a real movie, you know?
Okay, next question. You worked with Bill Cosby. I'm quite a fan. What was that like?
It was really awesome. It was really, really cool. He was really cool, really nice guy, really generous, really cared about everybody on his set, especially the kids. Like, he was a genuine role model, you know? Like, there didn't need to be cameras going, you know? He was a genuine role model, wanted everybody to succeed and everybody to reach their potential, and he did everything in his power to make that happen. And it was one of my very first jobs, so I was a little kind of overwhelmed by it all.
And you got to fulfill one of childhood's dreams. You were on Sesame Street.
I knew you were going to say that, yeah.
You were on Sesame Street. That's amazing. Yeah,
Sesame Street was pretty awesome. And I got to meet most of the cast. I never got to meet Frank Oz or Jim Henson, unfortunately. They weren't there while I was there.
Yes.
But I met everybody else and just had just a real blast.
Okay, well, that's all I have. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Everybody stay tuned. We do have more from Asylum coming. And I know that you guys are used to TJ saying this, but I get to say it this time.